Welcome here to another episode of MotoGP, presented by the Pitboard Discussions. I'm your host, it's the trouble man himself, joined here by
the less troublesome Dan.
And
Mashiri.
the start man. Why are you so nonchalant? Uko too easy, uko too vibes and inshallah. Is this your new attitude towards MotoGP? With everything that's going on, do you not know what's going on?
I'm noticing nowadays you're putting a lot of words in my mouth. Like, yani hata unasema, oh, I'm this. Oh, mara I'm
Na kuekelea.
Unaniwekelea all the time.
Sikuekelei bana. I'm reading your energy bana, vibrations. I'm reading the vibrations.
Yeah, look for another antenna. Change your antenna. It's something is picking up the wrong signals.
When I've said that, he's actually now doubling down on the whole at I'm the superstitious guy.
Mtu asparagus huyu.
He's not doubling down. Funny enough, I'm not.
Unajua you talk the way you think, so you have to be.
I mean, I have some belief on the whole concept, but not. Anyway, that's a story for another day.
Everybody is superstitious to some level. So it's
I know, right?
Yeah, usione like a bad thing. Everybody ako superstitious to some level.
This guy, we were playing some music on the background, then akaniambia some crazy artist name, and I was like, who? Ako like, si wako group moja.
So you were playing some. Let's not even give him a time.
This guy. Anyway, welcome to MotoGP. We're sorry for that segment. I hope it makes it to the cut. That's a good way to introduce an episode. It's been a minute since we discussed MotoGP. The last time we discussed MotoGP, I believe 2 races have happened since last we discussed MotoGP. Yeah? And, okay, listen. Not much to discuss on the races, but there's something happening. I don't know how this time is actually finding its way out of Formula 1 because they associate this time with Formula 1 primarily. Silly season. It's finding its way out of Formula 1 and into other forms of sport.
Wait, is it a Formula 1 thing? I thought it is a sport thing.
I know it is a Formula 1 thing.
It's not a sports thing?
Okay, I'm not sure. I could be wrong here.
Okay.
But
you don't have silly season in football?
They are starting to call it silly season now. It's never called a silly season. I saw some football accounts calling it silly season and I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, what the hell is that, man? Come on, be creative. Anyway, silly season in the world of MotoGP. The hypocrisy. Have you seen the hypocrisy there? I'm saying it's not called silly season. Anyway, silly season in the world of MotoGP. A lot going on. First things first, giving flowers to the guy who's retiring. This is Aleix Espargaro.
Espargaro.
Espargaro. Bro.
Just call him Aleix.
I have to confirm this.
Just call him Aleix and move on.
Yeah,
uko blessiwa na ulimi ya kutamka hiyo.
No, it's just that I'm knowing him this year. Remember, I'm a new MotoGP watcher. These guys are actually keeping me informed. They're actually keeping me disciplined to the sport. But highly recommend.
So he retired?
Yeah, he announced his retirement at Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
And he's vacating that Aprilia factory seat. I believe he's always been the number one rider.
How old was he?
His age? If not early 30s.
I'm sorry. I have a question.
Not yet 35?
No, not yet. Because I think he's one of the older riders.
MotoGP is not carrying a lot of old men. Like we have Alonso who is 41.
Valentino Rossi alikuwa na miaka ngapi when he was retiring? How old was Rossi when he was retiring?
I think also mid 30s.
Yeah,
These guys aren't old?
He was past 35, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That is my same expression I have. Like, why are you retiring below 35? Alonso is 40 something.
Can I point something out?
Hamilton is 38.
I've noticed something about these riders.
But bro, you know these riders take a beating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They break bones as in they take a beating.
I've noticed something about these riders, and correct me if I'm wrong, or kind of nudge me towards the right direction if I'm off. These riders aren't big guys. There's some little. There are a lot of me's there. I'm not a relatively big guy. No, I'm not a relatively big guy.
So
you guys are bigger than me, kind of, to some degree. I know he's bigger than me. Maybe, I don't know. Listen,
Pedrosa.
Not that. No. Why would you do that?
No, just looking at the camera.
This guy. Anyway, that's hella sus. That's hella sus. Anyway, I'm speaking about dimensions. Not that
Sasa mbona unaendelea kuni
I'm making it worse when I explain. Okay. Anyway, they're not like.
tulikuwa tunaongea about retiring. Mbona MotoGP riders are retiring earlier than
Now that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying about body size. They're not big guys. Like see, when you think of sports and you think basketball,
they're not
you
like
think
basketballer
tall guys.
ama waswa rugby.
When you think football, you think big legs. When you think rugby, you think built like a tank. Now, MotoGP, Formula 1, we know these guys, they're athletes, but they're kind of balanced out. They don't have like any prominent features or something.
We have Yuki.
Not prominent features, like, you know what I'm talking about. I've already given a...
Formula 1 drivers have
There's Yuki.
Oh, yeah, they have thick necks. Now, Formula 1 drivers have thick necks. Now, when I looked at MotoGP, I was looking at the grid again, and it stood out. I was like, most of these guys, I'm not saying little dudes, but they're not that big. They're not that big. And I was like, is that like an ingredient to be a top rider?
Yeah, because remember power to weight ratio.
Power to weight
If
ratio.
you have bikes making around 300 horsepower, and you have riders who are 60 kilos playing around there, then that's a good. Of course, with the weight of the bike, then you'll be quick down the streets. If you are a heavier rider, then what are you doing?
That's really interesting to see. I'm not gonna lie. That's something I really enjoyed seeing. Because these things actually play a part in the performance.
Wait, did you like see like say I could
No, you're forgetting.
I could have been among them. Is that what crossed your mind?
No, you're forgetting I'm actually a rider real life. So like I was like, so this is actually the body for riders. And
so you felt like you were complimented.
Yeah, I felt complimented. No, I honestly did feel complimented. I'm not even going to lie about that. Okay. I honestly did
I
feel,
know why you brought it up then. Now let's go.
Yeah, I actually did feel.
Why are they retiring early by the way? Raman was saying that
I don't know about
they're
that.
taking a lot of beating.
Daktari tuambie. Oh, I remembered why I call him that. He's a huge fan of number 46, Valentino Rossi.
Vale, yeah. So some of these riders they get into MotoGP, or even they get into riding bikes from Moto3 to Moto2 to MotoGP at a very young age. If you look at guys like Pedro Acosta, guy, I think he started riding or something in Moto3 when he was, I don't know, 13, 14, somewhere there. And right from Moto3 to Moto2 to MotoGP, it's a physical sport. It's not a contact sport as in you're hitting each other, but you're crashing, you're falling down with the bike all the time. So as time progresses and you keep on crashing and your body keeps on taking a beating, it gets to a point where you're like, you know what, I think I've achieved much.
There's only too much your body can
take. Let me enjoy my 2 legs.
Espargaro, what has he achieved?
He hasn't won a championship, but he's won
races.
I think a couple of races, yeah. And then there's one which I think last year, remember, was it Assen, where he thought he was on the last lap. Guy was busy celebrating. Hey, I've won, and then, bro, one more lap to go.
Did he win?
No, he didn't win.
No.
He bottled a win, but yeah.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to actually bottle the win. I know the guys at the pit. His pit wall was actually kind of mad at him or feeling some type of way about it.
Yeah, but Aprilia had a really good year last year.
I actually saw how they performed last year because I was actually looking at their history and how they perform and how they've performed it in recent years, and they had a really good performance. And also, even if Aleix is actually leaving, the guy who's replacing him is a really good driver in Maverick Vinales.
No, Vinales has been his teammate.
Oh, that's his teammate?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the guy who's replacing one of the two, because also Maverick, now he's leaving Aprilia.
Wait. Both of them are leaving?
Yeah. So Aleix announced his retirement, and Maverick said he's going to KTM. He's already signed.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't saying replacing him. The guy who was supposed to take over the reins and now
so
take over the reins.
Jorge Martin.
Sorry about that.
Martin from Pramac Ducati. Yeah. So Aleix leaving, to be honest, I think he had more to give. But he has a young family. I think he became a father or something last year or something.
I mean,
So he's like, plus he's also, I think he's still recovering from a crazy injury. So I think he's like, it's enough.
it's time I hung up my helmet.
Even my all-time rider, Casey Stoner, retired even before getting to 30. I think he was like 27.
Casey Stoner was a menace.
What bike was he riding?
Ducati.
Okay.
Ducati and Honda. He has won a championship in Ducati and Honda.
Actually, people who are amazed by how Marquez is riding the Ducati and even the Honda a few years back. There's some Casey Stoner was doing that, but at another different level.
Yeah.
Okay. So I need to look him up.
Like Casey Stoner would set time within like 100 of a second with Lorenzo, and Casey's bike was shaking throughout the track.
Okay.
But for Nani Lorenzo, it as if he's on rail, and yet the time between them is very little.
Remember, I'm still getting my feet wet in the sport, yeah. So I need context to some reasons, and this context will also help the listener and the guy who will actually watch this to get even more context. So Casey Stoner was doing what?
Casey Stoner is my goat.
He is your goat.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay, does he have a call sign? You guys put me on to MotoGP riders have call signs.
That guy was good.
No,
I don't think he needed one. Just called. I don't know. Okay, by the way, I don't know if he had.
He didn't have any. And he's the guy who's actually helped Ducati to be Ducati who they are.
He's the Hamilton to Ducati's Mercedes.
He's
a test.
Yeah, as a test rider and helping them get the bike to where it is today.
Okay. That's some wild context.
So it's the same thing. He retired. The reasons attributed is because of the family. And he announced his retirement after winning the championship.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
You did a Nico Rosberg thing.
Yeah, he pulled out Nico Rosberg.
That's when you can't win anymore and you say, let me live on a high.
Hey, but this guy.
Stoner is not.
No, I'm not saying he couldn't win anymore. I'm just saying the Rosberg thing is when you can't win it. Because we knew Rosberg wasn't going to win the following year. Everybody knew that.
I don't.
Let's not digress.
I guess we'll never know.
Hey.
As Kanye said.
So okay. So a lot happening in the
wait.
rider
Aprilia,
market.
so he's leaving. Who is coming to Aprilia?
Jorge Martin.
Martin.
Yeah. Martin is leaving Pramac Ducati. And Martin gave Ducati an ultimatum. The same time Marquez also gave Ducati an ultimatum. Martin said, if you guys are not going to give me that seat,
So
I'm going to take my services somewhere else.
I'm going to take my talent to South Beach.
Yes. And it looks like
Ducati were like, okay.
Ducati are like, we have Marquez. Well, if you, in hindsight, or if you think about it now, when we already know Marquez is next year will be riding for Ducati, and Martin will be riding for Aprilia next year. It makes sense if you compare the two riders why Ducati chose Marquez over Martin.
Experience, man, most of all.
Experience and also business. Because
Now,
Honda are selling.
Now wait for the business part. Marc Marquez, I don't think he'll go with Red Bull. He won't have Ducati. I don't know how that is going to work, but what I learned is that when you are in Ducati, unafaa kuwa na monster. Like hakuna story. There's nothing to do with Red Bull.
So you're saying there's a clash of sponsorships there?
Yeah. So they're saying that the sponsorship might be put on hold the time he is in Ducati. Maybe
it could happen, but if Ducati are able to finance themselves, and if Ducati are able to pay Marc some good tunes, plus also Marc now his stock is rising, so it will be easy for him to attract.
Wait. So Aprilia have lost both drivers.
Both riders,
yeah.
Damn. And they only have one rider secured for next year.
Yeah. And here's the tricky thing. The Aprilia racing CEO, forgotten his name. The guy said Aprilia next year should be fighting for wins. So how are they going to fight for wins? And they have two riders vacating their seats.
It smells Alpine.
Yeah, as in it doesn't make sense at all. As in next year you're saying you want to fight for wins and you have riders who have never even ridden that bike. So how are they going to fight for wins.
Okay.
It's not looking good for them. But then also, as in it's silly season, things are happening. Guys are vacating factory seats. Or factory seats, haven't confirmed their lineup next year. But who is available to take that second factory seat? Who is good
in
enough?
I'm even looking at the lineups for 2025 that have been confirmed. And
Jack Miller.
I think Jack Miller is done.
I'm looking at the teams that have actually secured seats, and Ducati are the only guys who are looking confident going into next year. Ducati are the only team who are looking confident.
Ducati and KTM.
KTM.
Yeah, and KTM because they have Brad Binder and Pedro Acosta.
Yeah,
those are the two who are looking actually some type of way. We can see Yamaha have Quartararo confirmed, and Repsol Honda have Marini.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Aprilia, bruv. It's also not looking good for Honda.
Okay, I just hope KTM will make a step, by the way, with that Nani Acosta.
Acosta, they'll definitely. And I'm calling it already. Acosta is going to mop the floor with Brad.
Win races? A race win?
I don't think. Unless Ducati. Bro, we are talking about
He's
Marquez.
finishing on podium with his current bike.
Yes, but we are talking about Marquez. We're talking about Pecco.
I
So the
really-
first
I
two
really-
spots secure.
Yeah, the first two spots
I
are
really want to
taken.
see this because I'm giving it context again. So at this point, Ducati are in Red Bull's level, and we could argue Banaya Pecco is actually Max at this stage, and Marc Marquez is like Hamilton at this point.
Yeah. There's some
like Hamilton.
similarities, yeah.
So he's not Checo because in Formula 1 Red Bull they only have one strong driver.
Checo is just chilling. Why are you bringing?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just giving it context. I'm just giving it some context. So
He's
we have
like
two strong
Sainz,
riders.
Summer Sainz.
No, Checo.
Leave
we have
Checo
two strong riders. We have two strong riders. And this team are actually competing for the championship because I know they are looking for the Constructors' Championship. And chances are they're actually going to win it this year.
They'll get it, yeah.
So next year they're actually going. I know it's not straightforward. It's not 1, 2, 3, but it looks like also next year they are because this is the defending champion. Isn't Pecco defending?
Wait,
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Ramin, who's your money on, Pecco or Mark?
Pecco.
Hey, you still have strong belief in Pecco?
Yeah.
Vamos
Pecco-
Marc Marquez.
Pecco is just something else.
Marc Marquez. Man,
Okay,
the
I'll
legend.
give him for the Mugello race, the start. That is we shall watch something and then you're like, what? Like you clap and you are alone. Like you say, that's good. Because Sababu, he was like targeting turn 2. All his money was on turn 2. As people were fighting for turn 1, his was on turn 2.
Let's hope their relationship doesn't deteriorate because they're in the same team. Let's just hope because
It will.
I noticed in Formula
MotoGP
has that thing whereby riders we respect each other but when we finally get to the track and we meet and we have the same, we're fighting for the same thing, tempers flare and people hate each other for no reasons.
That's correct. I don't see.
But that's what we want.
No, we don't. No. Okay.
Yeah, that is what we want.
That's
As in,
what we want.
Personally,
That's not what we want.
Personally,
We want people to
we
fight
don't-
on track.
yeah, we don't want people to crash. But I want to see people fighting.
So wait,
personally,
you
I
want
don't
to see?
I don't want to see Pecco running with the
No,
championship
listen.
next year.
You know you said you like what's this guy's name?
Who?
Number 46, Valentino. Yeah, I've just talked about this before we opened the pod, and I said one of the things that put me off about the whole Valentino situation is I saw that controversial clip.
He was recovering his balance.
He wasn't recovering any balance.
Haven't you seen
the clip?
Haven't you seen when riders lose a bit of balance, they do like
No,
this
guy was kicking him, man. I kicked him to the curb. He told him,
But
listen.
bro, listen, you have to put things into context.
There's no context.
Marquez was a menace.
Yeah. Hard racing. That doesn't mean you
Marquez
kick me.
was a menace.
That's like me in Formula 1. We are racing corner to corner. Then I find an opportunity because you see that there's the whole halo structure. I throw a punch through the halo. I decide, now what? This guy.
But that
He has to
movement
get it
is the
from
same movement you make when you're losing balance.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
That
It is.
leg, you do like this leg like that.
Why was he penalized though?
Because it was Marcus.
Exactly. No. because he did the wrong thing.
But Marquez was amazing.
I'm saying though, we are not getting to those levels next year with Pecco and Marquez.
No, I don't. I don't think Pecco will do that. He's calm and collected.
That's what we thought.
Hata kupata 2 turn 3 turn 4. Atapata tu sumbu.
Yeah, well, you don't know Marc Marquez. He'll break test you.
But you see, wait. But we've already seen a Pecco and Marquez battle.
Okay,
we've seen it happen.
We have seen
not on equal machinery.
And Pecco. Yeah, okay, not on equal machinery, but Pecco came out on top.
Not on not on equal machinery.
Wait. When it comes to racing, what I've noticed with these bikers is how they place the bike at the corner. Because you might have the momentum, but bro, hakuna place unaenda. You're parked the bike there in front of you.
Yeah.
Or you can't
you're
lean.
either forced to go wide.
You can't lean. If you lean on this guy. So you're forced to go around.
You're either forced to go wide.
Those tactics, markers, when you're neck and neck with him going to the corner.
It's actually
he's going to beat you. He's going to find you.
Two-wheel racing is actually very
going to
different
find a way
racing
to
from
beat
four-wheel
you.
racing because strategy as a seasoned, because I can call myself a seasoned Formula One watcher and other forms of four-wheel racing series. I've watched some GT3 races, a couple of them, for a few years now. Now, watching the two-wheel series, the whole racing line thing, because you get accustomed to the whole racing line, how you position your car and everything. With the bikes, it's actually different because one wrong lean will actually mess up your whole turn or your whole lap. It could mess up your whole lap. One wrong lean or one bike positioning that isn't properly positioned or one guy who breaks late.
Yeah, you crash.
It's over. You start
brutal.
chasing your bike. You start chasing your bike.
Yeah. The risk to reward ratio when you're talking about four-wheel racing and two-wheel racing, two different things.
Yeah. The advantage for the two-wheel, they have a lot of track space. Like they can go 3 into that corner.
I'm not forgetting that easily. Every time I see those guys they call it sweeping because there was in the previous episode. I mean in the previous race weekend. Who was it? Was it Jorge Martin sweeping the track?
Yeah, leaning with the shoulder and
he had some crazy technique there, and I was like, then they were calling it sweeping, and I was like, indeed, he is sweeping the track. And I was like, listen, if we are sweeping like this, and somebody just decides to, just do, when you're just it's over for you. You get it? It's over for you. But any crazy calls you want to give, because you're the ones who seasoned. You both of you are seasoned on this. Any crazy calls you want to give the listeners?
Not a crazy call, but I think Alex Rins will leave Yamaha to go to Pramac Ducati, because Yamaha, they don't have the best bike. They're still building their way back up. And Pramac Ducati, they are a customer team to Ducati, and they are riding as in the same spec bike. So the seat that Jorge Martin left, I think it's a hot cake. People want to hop on it. We're talking about Akina Alex Marquez, guys who like the team Gresini Ducati. They're riding last year's bike. So if there's a vacant seat to ride next year's bike, they'll be fighting for it. We also have these guys who are racing for VR Muni 46, the luminous green folks, Fabio DG Antonio, I think that's his name, and Marco Bezzecchi. I think they'll also want that seat. So within Ducati, they're still yet to implode.
Yeah.
Yes, they've removed one headache off, they've removed one person off the equation, but they still have a couple of riders who are really good, who want to get better seats. And there are also rumors that Pramac Ducati will sign a deal with Yamaha next year. They're going to partner with Yamaha to leave the Ducati bike and ride the Yamaha bike next year. So if they do that, I don't know what Yamaha have cooking. I'm a simple man. Maybe Yamaha cooking something. But
don't get your hopes up, man.
It's the hope that kills you.
It's the hope. But
Get your hopes up, man.
if Pramac Ducati are leaving, if they leave Ducati, which other so we'll be left with two customer teams, Ducati customer teams. There's Gresini and Viarmuni. So which one will get the same spec bike? Because I think there's a deal or something that Ducati made that they will only supply one more team with a current spec bike. Yeah. So they have three customer teams. Two of them are riding the GP23, last year's bike, and the GP24 is being it's the factory bike now at the moment. So if Pramac are leaving Ducati, is it Gresini, is it Viarmuni who are going to take that seat? And if it's Gresini are going to take that seat, Marquez has left one seat. We have other two Ducati riders who will want to get onto that seat. We have Jack Miller, who's I think he's on his way out. Probably he'll want to, I don't know, he's going to squeeze his way back to being like a Ducati rider. So that's something interesting to see. Of course, we've talked about next year how the championship will pan out, how the Marquez and Pecco relationship is going to be. Because Marquez is not the team orders kind of guy.
Yeah.
Marquez, if you can't beat him on track, don't tell him.
I know there's a guy called Maverick, but if Marc Marquez had a call sign, we should call him Maverick.
Yeah. And okay, let me go back to the this Martin thing. Like how like I don't know, have we ever seen somebody who is leading the championship and losing his seat? The level of no trust at all. Like no, I don't know. Like
if it were you, are you sabotaging the team?
But wait, is he really losing his seat?
Who? Martin.
Yeah. Because Pramac didn't.
Is he leading the championship currently?
Yeah.
He's leading the championship.
By how many points? I know it's close.
It's just a few points.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So currently he's the one leading.
Yeah.
And he's lost his. He didn't. Basically, did he lose his seat or he signed another team?
Aligitoa.
Yeah. See, that's sign.
But he wanted to go to the factory.
The factory team, yeah.
Ducati.
Yeah.
Wakapea Marquez.
Yeah. But it doesn't make sense because
that's crazy.
if you're riding the same bike as Marquez next year, maybe he just wanted to have the factory team. Because I think there's the factory team, there's the factory bike, then there's just any other seat.
So what will happen to him?
He's going to Aprilia.
Martin.
He's going to
Martin
Aprilia.
now is getting a factory seat and a factory team.
No. What will happen to him? Will he be able to challenge? Will Aprilia be in a position to give him a bike that could challenge for the championship?
It depends. If Aprilia turn up next year with a proper bike, then maybe he might fight for, I don't know, maybe a podium. But I don't think because
he's leading the championship to fighting for podiums.
That is like, but he's not the current world champion. So that analogy won't work.
He's
Anyway.
18 points. He's leading the championship.
How many races are left in the current season? Is there a chance he wins this year's title?
No, I don't think so.
It's gonna be last year all over again.
Deja vu again. Because if there's one thing that Pecco is good at, Pecco is resilient. Pecco, he might crash out Sunday sprint race, but Sunday.
But he won sprint and Sunday.
Yeah.
So that is, if he has fixed that niveau, we will say you can't get him.
Done. Yeah.
It's done.
Well, there you had it, folks. What's the next race on the MotoGP calendar?
Assen. It's called the Cathedral of Speed.
Okay. The Cathedral of Speed. You know, we do have the Temple of Speed.
Yeah, there's the Temple of Speed Monza, and now we have the Cathedral of Speed. I'm not making this stuff up.
I know. Okay. So I'm like...
You're not pulling it out of your ass.
It just caught me off guard. Like,